So we'll jump into the start of the chart here. I'll go into the Qs recent week. So we'll just journal here together what exactly happened. So we had the Qs megaphone breakout on the daily. I have been talking about the EMA flip as well. So we had an EMA flip bearish recently. That was back in the August 30th. So we had the EMA flip bearish, and then we saw the downside move. But recent weeks we have been coming back over the bullish trend here. So back two candle closes over the EMAs. That's what kind of confirms this bullish move. So that's exactly where we are right now. We're in a bullish market. I know that data did come in. The last week data we had FOMC, really key data for the previous week, which we'll also dig into a little bit more in a bit. But we had the 50 basis point cut in the interest rates. So we did see that pull down on the Wednesday of September 18th. But overall, we're still in a bullish market. You can see not much strength going back downside, right? So you see the aggression to reclaim prices on Qs and on SPY as well. But more importantly, I'm looking at the Qs here. You see the aggression to get back over the data high as well. So I think this is a really strong bullish market. Even the way we closed on Friday, you can see it wasn't much of a move on Friday, but we did break out and pull back onto the daily breakout. So I am still in a bullish trend here, personally, and I think we are going to continue higher. That's in terms of last week moves. So it was a really nice week last week, incredible week. Let me just take a look at the chat. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, incredible week last week. Hopefully, every one of you had a great week. It was pretty simple. I did expect it to be a little bit more choppy because of the Fed announcements and lower volume, but overall it was pretty decent. So jump into it here. Nvidia, we had some trades on Nvidia. It was showing some relative strength recently, but it did slow down a bit. This is actually one of my top watches for the upcoming week, which we'll jump into at the end of the session here for the upcoming watch list. But Nvidia was a nice one last week. Tesla, incredible move. We did not get to hold for the full move here, but we were trading this earlier in the week, so we had the Tesla calls. Look at this move on Tesla. I was talking about this gap fill for a long time. Had it charted, shared it, I think a few weeks back, but this gap was ready to be filled on Tesla, and finally did it with the data we had this week. So incredible move on Tesla, back up to 245s, just like I mentioned, and that should continue higher as well. But I am expecting a little bit of consolidation right in this range here with the um, unexpected move here we had recently over the EMAs. So those are the two main stuff, two main individuals we watched last week, put on my top watch, and then we also traded last week. So incredible stuff there on Tesla and Nvidia and SPX as well. So we don't trade much SPX, but last week we had some crazy setups on SPX. So we did dabble into some SPX contracts as well while we are trading SPY. So that was really fun as well. But that's mainly it for the recap I had for last week. I know we had sorry, I just had something come up on screen right there. So I know we did have some key data. I'll pull up the data as well. So green, switch it over. And in terms of journaling, I know a few of you, I've told you guys like it's really important, but I see that no one has really started. I did share that in this weekend session. I will go over exactly how I journal and how you could journal too. It's really simple strategy you could use to journal. So I'll switch over my screen now. And I'll switch back over to the previous week catalyst. So we had the data here on Wednesday. That was the most important data. We had the Fed announcements with a 50 basis point cut. That was the main key thing we're looking at all week, which the volume was kind of holding back for. On Friday, we did have some volatility increase with the Fed speakers coming on with some orange folder news. For next week, we do have a few key data points here. So Monday, right off the bat, we're going to have the flash manufacturing. And I think, yeah, we do have the final GDP. So that's going to be on Thursday, along with Powell speaking. So I think Thursday is going to be our biggest data point for this week, along with a bunch of Fed speakers. So you can see they're all stacked into Thursday here. So the biggest catalyst for this week is going to be Thursday. Keep your eyes peeled for the unemployment claims as well. That's going to be key for us, key week for us as well. I think we are in a really good spot on SPY to continue higher, and we'll see how this data comes in. It should be able to push us higher, I think, before any pullbacks here on the market. In terms of flow, flow recap from last week, I know we had a ton of flow coming into Nvidia, Google, and Meta. So those are the top watches in terms of flow. But Nvidia is one of my favorite ones right now, and like I said, I'll jump into it at the end of the watch list, or sorry, end of the session here, or what I have on the watch list. But it's been kind of lagging if you have seen it on the daily. That's one thing I'm looking at. I'll switch my screen over to my Discord. Hopefully you guys can see my Discord now. Let me know if you guys can see this okay, actually, first. They do have some streamer mode enabled. It might not let you see everything. You guys, oh okay, you guys are talking in this live trading chat. I'm sorry guys, I was looking in the main chat. I forgot to look here. Sorry about that. All right, awesome. So you guys can see the screen. All right, so I'm gonna jump into how exactly you can journal. I've been talking about this for a long time. And if you guys remember last week, I had completely zero red trades. So I think a total I put on 10 trades in the whole week. Was really consistent in terms of the actual profits. But out of 10 trades, I alerted 7 trades to you guys, and all 7 were green trades, and all 10 of my trades last week were all green. So the main takeaway behind that is I took a little bit of time the previous weekend, just recap what's going on personally. Took some time journaling every single day again consistently, and I could just see the difference it makes, and it's just so obvious, right? So I talked about it last week as well. One way I like to think about it, or I thought about it always, is that like companies or businesses, they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to journal and make reports, right, on their data, their performance, all that good stuff. Main takeaway is that they rely on this data to improve, right? So if you're trying to get better in terms of anything, you have to be making notes, you have to be taking notes, and reviewing those notes, and then also reflecting on those notes and applying it into your future use. So you can't just be coming in here spamming these buttons every day and then just expect to repeat the same thing tomorrow. It's not going to be the same. You just have to keep notes on what exactly is working for you and what's not. So I'll jump into exactly how I do it. I won't open up my actual journal. I have some personal stuff in there, but I will show you guys exactly how to do it. I've taught a few of my friends on here how I did this a few years ago. They love using it. I know they taught some of you how to use it, so I'll just put it out here for everyone. So first thing I do is you all obviously have Discord because you're on here. You guys know Discord is one of the greatest apps you can use on all platforms. So any single device you have. So that's one of the best things about Discord. You're actually going to use Discord to journal. All you need to do is go here, add a server, create your own server. It's going to be for me and my friends. It really doesn't matter. You're not inviting anyone in here, and you could just name it whatever you want, right? So journal, and you're going to be given like a fresh screen here with nothing in it. How you're going to set this up is just by months. It's really easy, guys. So you just have to create a category, September, and then you're just going to set up. You could do it per day, or you could just do it by the week, right? So last week we had the date was 16 to 20. And in here, you could just journal all your, okay, you're not going to journal just your trades. One of the main important things that I talked about last week as well is you have to journal your thoughts as well, because there's so many times you're just thinking like, you want to take a trade here, it might not work out, so it's easy to forget about it. But if you write it down, you can actually review and you can improve on that, right? Just don't forget about everything. So just write everything down. A good format I have here is I put it out for you guys here as well, and I'll put it in the chat here. It's really simple. You just take the date, what you saw, and you just identify your entry, indicators used, your risk management, exit, right? That's in terms of trades. And this is the pre-market, so you just write down the time, and you could just write down exactly what you think. So every single day, you just go back and review, and that's one of the greatest way to journal here. So hopefully, you guys could go ahead and do that on your free time over the weekend. It really does improve your trading. I think every single one of you will see some sort of benefit from it. Just go ahead and try it out if you get a chance. It's really simple. It's free, right? It doesn't cost you anything, and you can see it from your phone, your laptop, whatever it is. So I didn't want to take up too much of your time, guys. I know football's going on as well. I have this recording going as well, so I don't want to watch. I don't want to make people watch like a 30-minute recording, but just jump into the quick watches for next week. If you guys want, I'll go into some more details on journaling. I actually use AI for some of my journaling, right? So I can just feed it charts and it can read my levels for me and then just fill out the details for me using a format. I'll jump into like more details on that. I know a ton of you might actually be here for a webinar information. So I have announced that I'll be going over like a trading strategy with Vijaya as well, me and him personally doing our webinar. And that's, I'm going to post more details on that. This is just the weekly prep session. So I'll just keep it pretty brief here. Next week, watch this. I do have NVIDIA, so I've been talking about this whole session. Lagging move here. We had a daily flag breakout, and now we're in another flag here, so you can see it pretty clearly right here. This is my. Oh, sorry, I'm not on my trading view. All right, should be good now. All right, so this is the daily flag here that I'm looking at. If you take a look at the scanners from the premium section of the Discord, we have Nvidia inside bar on the weekly time frame. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mark out the high and mark out the low here as well. So we have 119.66. I'm watching the high of. Like I said, a lot of call flow has come into Nvidia recently. I do want to see an upside break here, and I think it's going to take out the recent highs as well. So this is a move you want to keep on watch for the next few weeks, or specifically next week. I don't think it's going to be messing around here for a long time between the 116 to 113. It's a really key range here for Nvidia. A lot of volume here, so just watch for this break. If it breaks, it's going to 130, and then I think it's not going to have a problem breaking the highs here as well. So that's for my top watch for next week. I have Snow I've added to the watch list, so I know a lot of you guys have seen Snow. It's just kind of go sideways at the 200 area, sorry, 160 area. But we've taken a pretty deep dive here into some weekly exhaustion. So now on the weekly, RSI is oversold, and you can see exhaustion here on the weekly. So we actually put in an inside bar. I'm watching the high 115. If we break that high, I think we are going to see a nice breakout here towards the 128 to 130, and then further upside from there. Should be a complete reversal for Snow here. I've seen some call flow come in recently as well, but nothing too crazy yet. I'm starting to add these China tickers as well to my watch list. They've been making some pretty intense moves. So we saw Baba last week, really intense move, but it's just kind of all messy all over the place here. I want to see some sort of pullback, falling wedge kind of pullback, and then trade the upside there. And last but not least on my watch list, I have PayPal. I know I've talked about this last week. I'm talking about some further dated calls because if you look at the weekly, it's a pretty big breakout here. We've been stuck at this range for years now, like this below 70 range. I feel like this is going to break out pretty aggressive here. So we already started that last week, and you can see we're starting to make a pretty aggressive move here on the weekly, 76 already from the 50 range. So that's looking really nice after earnings that we had. You can see right here, earnings gap up and hasn't really looked back since then. So it is looking really good. I want to see a pullback after this news kind of gap up. It literally gapped up the day after I talked about it. So I want to see a little pullback. And then I'm looking at some further dated calls, which I'll obviously share with you guys in the chats. But that is all I have for the weekly prep session. Just something to recap last week's data, flow, and charts. And then just take a little moment to teach you guys exactly how to journal briefly. And then just want to go over some weekly watches as well with you guys. So if you guys have any questions or anything, just put them in the chat. I am recording it. I'll post it up for you guys, whoever couldn't make it here or whoever had to leave in between.